showing we don't need roads.
Guys, seriously, so good to see you. This movie is absolutely awe-inspiring. I read the book over the past couple of months, and it's one of my favorite movies so far this year. I appreciate you fitting me into your schedule.
Great.
Thanks, Jake.
Thank you.
I'm going to jump into this. Ben and Matt, I'm actually going to start with you guys. I was wondering if you could think back over the last 25 years since you guys wrote Good Will Hunting, during that time together and the success that came after, from that moment to the last Duel, do you think being an actor has made you a better writer, or being a writer has made you a better actor?
Well, I don't know. I think we always wrote kind of up on our feet, kind of acting the scenes out. We kind of didn't really differentiate too much between the two.
The way we learned to do this was actually a brilliant teacher, a guy named Jerry Specka, who never really taught us that they were siloed, distinct things. That sort of acting and writing and directing were all kind of part of a larger process. And so as such, they weren't kind of mystified and made other. And one of the things that kind of gave me the confidence to direct movies and it wasn't because we thought of ourselves as writers per se, but as we just viewed it as part of the process of what we did, you know.
Mm-hmm. And Nicole, I love the 3-chapter format of telling this story, and I think bringing you in to write The Truth According to Marguerite was just such a brilliant move. How different do you think that last chapter would have been if it had been written by a man? What are some things, some perspectives, some truths that you brought that otherwise would not have been there?
Well, I am tempted to joke, of course, because of course she'd be wearing negligees and transparent gowns. And
not only are you tempted,
I can't help myself. You know, who knows? They're really good writers, and they probably would have done a terrific job. But I'm very happy they asked me to do it instead. I don't know. I'm a woman.
I can tell you because I know
stuff.
what we thought, and it wouldn't have been as good and as real and as have reflected the reality that women know that we just didn't understand. It wouldn't have been, I hope, not stupid or obtuse, but it also wouldn't have been as good as what Nicole can do.
Yeah.
Thank you very
much.
Also,
Jake, what was interesting was like as you've read the book, the stuff in the first two chapters, the male chapters, like really comes a lot from Eric's book. We really adapted very faithfully, but as you can see, there wasn't a lot of information about the women because the men were so fastidiously recording every single thing that they did, but ignoring and overlooking the women. And so Nicole really had a tough job because she had to really create this person out of whole cloth.
You know, I don't get to say this very often, and obviously the book itself is incredible, but I honestly think I might prefer the movie to the book, which, you know, I get to say maybe once every 5-10 years.
We won't tell Eric that.
Yeah. Please don't. Ben and Matt, like I said, I really do love The Truth According to. It's such a brilliant way to tell this story. I was wondering, thinking back to your lifelong friendship, your long history of working together, what is a moment between the two of you that you each tell very differently? There's The Truth According to Matt and The Truth According to Ben.
That's a great question.
Every single moment that goes by.
They're the hero of their own stories.
We're all the hero of our own stories, exactly.
You know, and this question's for all of you. I really want to talk about writing the Duel itself. When you're writing for a director like Ridley Scott, who you have no question can pull off a scene like this, he's the master of scenes like that. What is the process of writing the Duel? How complicated, intricate, blow by blow do you have to get into the script, or do you just sort of leave it up to Ridley on the day?
It's funny. We wrote very kind of faithfully what Eric had, because Eric writes beautifully about how everything transpired, and there's a very clear record of exactly how it happened. But it was decidedly uncinematic, and so what Ridley did was took the spirit of the duel. He took the shape of it. You know, it started on horseback. It ended up, they went to axes, to swords, to knives. All of that really happened, and Ridley made it a lot more beautiful to look at and cinematic with our stunt coordinator Rob Inch, who designed and choreographed that whole thing. It's really that thing as writers where that's where it's really joyful, because it's a collaborative art form, and that's when the people you're collaborating with bring their A game and just elevate everything.
Nicole, whenever I read the story about you being brought in for this film, it really made me look at a history of films differently. I'm sort of curious, as a writer, as a director, how often do you see films or projects and you think, you know, maybe someone with a different worldview or life perspective should have written this?
Well, I can only say that if I see a movie that I think is bad, I would say, yes, somebody else should have done this. And if it's really good, I guess I think, oh, God, I wish I did that. So I don't know.
What this illustrates is how often, in fact, because the book as Matt pointed out, the records were kept by men because the central facts of life were at that time, and still in some vestigial ways now, viewed as mostly being handled by men. And so the omission of women as storytellers and as historians, we really suffer from, and it's something that we've become mindful of as just a result of a ongoing education and part from this kind of growing cultural movement. And I think we benefited from it enormously. It's just a much better movie and story, a more honest story for Nicole's life and experience. She's just being unduly modest.
Guys, seriously, so great to see you. I appreciate you always being so kind to me. And
Thanks a
seriously,
lot.
the movie's a masterpiece. I thank you for your time.
Jay, thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Good to see you guys.
You bet.
Thanks, you too.
See you, man.
Where we're going, we don't need roads.